CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products such as our can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com.
And now,
Good morning, everyone. How are you? How's everybody doing? Hey, Gary, Robin, good to see you. Hey, Lady Catherine, good to see you as well. Lee, hello. Fred, good morning. Good morning. Chessie, good morning. Hey, Brian, good to see you. Catherine, good to see you. Oh, happy day, Marianne. Yes. Hey, Patrick. How is everybody? Hey, Rhonda. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing this and inviting everybody in. Hey, Jules. Good to see you. Mad Max. Whoa, Mad Max is here. Marlene. Hello. Hey, Garth. Good to see you. While everybody is coming in and you're retweeting this and sharing this, hey, Barbara. Good morning. I'm going to go ahead and read to you Matthew chapter 10, verse 27. Good morning, friend, indeed. How are you? Jesus teaches the fear of God. Whatever I tell you in the dark, speak in the light, and what you hear in the ear, preach on the housetops. And do not fear those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a copper coin, and not one of them falls to the ground apart from your Father's will? But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Do not fear, therefore, you are of more value than many sparrows. Amen. So, just to get us started on that, to let us know that in God's eyes we are important, and in God's eyes we should fear him, not fear our enemies and those who would like to shut us up. Hey, Chicago Pops. Thank you. I know, Jules, it kind of like sets the tone, you know. Hey, Wendell, good morning. Nick, good to see you. No fear. Keep going. Hey, Carmen. Good to see everybody. Please, if you will, if you haven't already shared, please do that. The House narrowly passes a $4 trillion Republican budget just now. That's the breaking news. Angeline, good to see you. So let's get started. Now, yesterday I think everybody is, where do we begin? I mean, there's so much coming out. We talked about it yesterday, about the dossier and about Uranium One. Yes, thanks, Jules. I try to keep it no cussing in here at all, so you can have children listening to this and it's fine. So, hey, Robin, Gary, where is Hugh? There's Hugh. Good morning, Hugh. Can't get started without Hugh. Come on now. So here's the thing. We now know, yes, family's safe. We now know that in looking at all of this, we talked about yesterday, what is it that they did wrong? Remember I was saying yesterday that if you gather information, is that, yes, Rhonda, that there's nothing wrong with gathering information. There was nothing wrong with what they did in gathering information. What is coming out and what they're saying now is wrong about all of that. Thanks, Carmen, for the hearts and the flowers. Is that they didn't report it. They didn't disclose it. They may have violated the campaign federal election requirements. And so the FEC filed a lawsuit saying, for failure to disclose, we're coming after you. Now, as I said yesterday, everybody's going to be doing this. So look for that to happen. It's going to be, well, I didn't know. I didn't ask you to do that. I knew nothing. I have nothing. I wasn't given any information. What are you talking about? So that's going to happen. You're going to hear Hillary say, that was my campaign. I didn't do anything. I didn't tell them to do anything. I didn't tell the attorney to do anything. I certainly didn't tell them not to disclose that properly. You got so confused. What did you get confused about? I know Wasserman Schultz. Happy birthday, Hillary. Boom. Jerry said, that's the, firecrackers going off. Yeah, that's what Nixon said. Exactly. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if people are going to come forward. The attorney, again, when people, if they come after the attorney, he's going to be able to break the privilege and say whatever happened if they're coming after him criminally. Hey, John, good to see you. Joseph, good to see you. So it's going to be, what are they going to say exactly? And when are we going to, I know nothing, says Hillary. And it's the same thing. Hey, Teresa, it's the same thing that Obama did. Hey, Susie, they have on Twitter, according to the Daily Beast, they say Assange and Trump colluded 411 on Hillary. They say a lot. They say a lot, and nothing ever amounts to anything. Her phrase again, I can't recall. Right. And Obama would say, I'm learning it at the same time you're learning it. I saw it in the news. So that's exactly what's going to be said. Everybody's going to point fingers at everybody else. Now, I was glad that Jeff Sessions did the right thing, and he allowed the FBI informant, who's going to be able to talk now about Uranium One. Let's make sure we keep him alive and healthy before his turn to come in there. I don't know when nothing's been set yet when he's going to go in there and testify, but we need to keep him alive and well. And I saw last night on Hannity, the attorney was on there. Some of the things I wish she would have, kept quiet. For example, Hannity said, does he have all the information? Hey, Miss Penny Lane, does he have all the information? And her response was, well, he has a lot of it. Don't say anything about what he has or what he doesn't have. You're giving the other side an opportunity to, I don't know, put stuff in, take stuff out. You know what I'm talking about. So I don't want her to say anything about him. I don't even want to know what he looks like. Just keep that quiet. Yeah, you were thinking the same thing, Catherine? Yep, zip the lips. And I think it was kind of one of those things, kind of an impulse reaction where she said something and then it was like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And so from now on, keep quiet. Hope they have him under 24/7 security, Robin said. I know. Absolutely. He'd better be. And again, she said another thing that I didn't like. You think it's a woman? Could be. Could very well be. The other thing that she said was, I haven't read everything. Yeah, the attorney said a little bit too much, Jules. Slightly. She shouldn't have said anything. But she said, there are some things that I haven't read yet, and I'm going to read them now. Don't tell me that. I don't want to know that. I want to know, I just want to know you're prepared, and that's what she should have said. Okay, thank you, Miss Penny Lane. I really appreciate it. I would have just said, you know what? We are prepared to go in there. We're prepared to go in and tell the truth. My client is confident in what is going to be said, and we're ready to go. Yeah, I know, John. Let's make sure the informant doesn't commit suicide until they time to testify. Fake it till you make it. That's right. Hey, Monique, good morning. I think it's a woman as well. Well, there was a Russian woman who tried to infiltrate and get in there. But she was found out, discovered, and was ousted in 2010. It could be that woman. I think she was a Russian, but so I don't know. I don't know if it's the same person. I don't know if it's female. I have no idea. Yeah, and somebody else is talking about Corey Feldman, who wants to break the lid off of the pedophile ring in Hollywood, he's saying. Here's my thing about Corey Feldman. He did come out a long time ago, years ago, and tried to talk about it. And as you know, Barbara didn't want him to say very much about it. And Barbara, she was on The View, was saying, "Oh, really? Well, you know, you could hurt an entire industry." And the thing of it is, somebody should have listened then, but they didn't want to listen. Now, what I don't like now is the fact that he's saying, "Well, I want to make a film about it." Why are you going to make a film about it? Let's just get the information out, then you can make a film about it later. I don't like that because it looks like maybe he's doing this to make money. How is Trump supposed to have a press conference out at Hollywood and more? And I don't know about that. Yeah, I know, Teresa, and that's the problem. You know, it kind of it the character of what he's of himself and what he's about to say. Yeah, Barbara Walters, yeah, is going to be decreased by the fact that he's saying now I want to make a film out of it. No, wrong move, Corey. And Corey's also saying that the other day that two trucks tried to run him over in a crosswalk, and so he's fearing for his own safety. Well, he should be at this point. Yep, Victoria Tonsing. I don't know how you say her name, Toinsing or Tonsing, representing the FBI informant. Yes. Should just name the 6 people. Exactly. Go ahead, name them, break the story, go to whomever you have to, whether it's the FBI or wherever you think you should go, break the story, and then make your movie. Patrick said, with respect to the dossier, I believe McCain is Republican involved. Well, Patrick, we know he delivered the dossier, and he's admitted to that. I think the person who's involved in paying for it, my gut is telling me it's Jeb Bush. Snake McCain is the delivery boy for that fake dossier. Yes, absolutely. And he already said he was. He came out and said he was. They filmed their sex crimes and used or sell as a piecework film into movies. Ugh, that's disgusting. Jeb to save the Bush family. I think so, Jules. McCain is not a Republican. Agreed, Barbara. Chicago Pops thinks it's also Jeb Bush. And I can't see the rest of it. It says that they think it's Jeb Bush too, and so does Jerry. I remember him trying to expose it years ago in regards to Corey Feldman, Robin said. Low energy Jeb. Yeah, put your money, he had to use some money maybe. It was never a Trump pack, could have been a few of them. It could have been, but to me, I just think it was the Bush family, whether it was Jeb himself or the entire Bush family. Trump probably does know. Now, I want to skip really quickly to another subject, then I'll come right back. I had somebody this morning, and I won't say the name unless you want me to. You can say your name. Hey, mighty blessed one. Also believes it's Jeb. Do you think anything will happen to Hillary? I think, again, she's going to try everything she can to point fingers at everybody else and protect herself from liability and culpability. But it's going to be what is anybody going to be willing to say? What is Rosenstein, Mueller, Holder, and some other people who may be involved with uranium? And now I'm talking about Uranium One. How is she going to get out of that? These people, if they start coming out of them, they're going to squawk. Jeb, the low energizer rhino, Cully said. The minute a Republican talks his mind, you people turn your backs. What? No, not true, but thanks anyway. And let's not do name calling, or you can just go to another scope. She will wiggle. Yeah, Bush has 2 accusers coming forward. Fusion won't release the documents. Yeah, well, I mean, again, because look at Fusion was not only, yeah, bye troll, exactly. Fusion, was probably under confidentiality because they were hired by the attorney. I mean, you don't know what the relationship all is there. They're eventually going to have to talk, or, maybe go to jail. We should attack Vietnam for sending the spy McCain over here, John said. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about, no, why is McCain not a Republican? Because he votes Democrat most of the time. There's only so much that Trey Gowdy can do. Yeah. Liberty Styles, welcome to Periscope's your first day. I think Gowdy goes after things methodically. Yeah, he does. Oh, no worry about being late, Danielle. It's no problem. Clinton's so guilty it's not even funny. I know it's a matter of being able to prove that, Carmen. There'll be a fall guy or gal who will fall on their sword to protect Clinton. Could be. No, it's not because he speaks his mind. It's because he's a Democrat, because he's jealous, because he's upset at Trump for saying that he's not really a hero. He's only a hero because he got captured and because he's not president and he still hasn't gotten over the fact that he lost. So if you want to put the American public first, then you forget your own petty little, arguments that you have. Hey, Daniel, good to see you. So you put your own personal feelings aside and do what's best for the country, not what's best for John McCain. There's the difference. All right, so I want to get back to the 25th Amendment. Somebody had asked me this morning to talk about the 25th Amendment because, as you know, the left always brings that up. So basically, they bring up the fact that we're going to use the 25th Amendment. We want to get Trump out of office. So let me just briefly tell you about the 25th Amendment. The 25th Amendment says that if the president is unfit, his own administration, thank you, Chezzy, his own administration can come after him and remove him from office. And that was Rhonda. Okay, Rhonda, I didn't want to say your name unless you wanted me to. That's why I didn't say it. I knew it was you. So basically, it would take Vice President Pence and 8 other people to say that President Trump was not fit, was unstable and unfit to be the president. They could remove him. Trump could immediately say, no, I am fit for office, come back in, and then it would take those same people to go to Congress to say, we want you to remove the president. Now, if they go to Congress and say that, it would take 2/3 majority of the House and 2/3 majority of the Senate to remove him. It's not going to happen. And in the beginning, if President Trump found that anybody was coming against him, anybody in his cabinet, he could immediately fire them. It's not going to happen. What is happening is that you have a bunch of people with sour grapes and the people on the left who want him out because it's, fulfills their own agenda to take over, to have Hillary come back or, raise somebody else from the dead that can take over. And so they come up with this. It's a distraction. Don't listen to it. It's ridiculous. You have somebody who was it yesterday? Was it Coburn, I think, from Oklahoma? He came out and he said that President Trump has a personality disorder. Give me a freaking break. Okay? Number one, you're not a mental health worker in any way, shape, or form. You have no ability or right to say something like that and give a diagnosis of personality disorder. These people are bitter. You've got senators who are bitter. You've got Flake, Corker, Coburn, who are bitter. And they want to do anything that they can. Because why? They're rhinos. Where were these people when Obama was ruining our country? Exactly, Marianne. They seem to dislike him even more than before. That's right, Catherine. You know why they do? Because they have been found out. They have been found out. The rhinos need to go, and they have been found out, and they don't like it. Robin said, ain't going to happen, using my best grammar there. I know, Robin. It ain't going to happen. It just isn't. Truck recommended a book on heaven. Let's talk about that. Darlene said, I don't know what that book was, Darlene. Hey, Ellen, good morning. Even mental health workers have to spend time with a client. Well, Chezzy, you have to examine a person before you can make that diagnosis. Now, there are some rules that say, in different states that you don't have to do that, but that's not good practice. I can't diagnose someone myself when I haven't even talked to them and sat down and had a proper and appropriate examination. Yeah, they didn't say that about Trump when he wasn't in office. You're right. Brian and I are in the same boat, not cooperating. Trump will be POTUS until 2024. They can't stop this train. And again, that's another point, John. The people of the United States love this president, and most of them support him. So trying to do something like that would be absolutely futile. Yeah, McCain and Corker and Flake are going to try to block anything. Hopefully, we shall see. Nope, they're not. All right. All right. So it looks like it's being reconnected now. Would be great if the good folks of Tennessee and Arizona would put pressure on Corker and Flake to resign. Yeah, absolutely. I know, Jules. YouTube is a lot of problems. Hopefully, everybody is still there. Went down just for a second. Let's talk personality disorders. Pelosi, Walters, McCain, Hillary, Wilson. Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Lee. Hopefully, people are still there. They may have jumped off thinking it was down and it wasn't coming back on. So, been a lot of problems with YouTube lately and a lot of things. Yeah, Nick. I know it, for whatever reason YouTube went down. That was YouTube. Yep, I'm back. um, so there you go. There's everything about the 25th Amendment. You know that it's all a lie. Now, there's been some other things. Hey, Sandra. Good morning. Other talk. I've heard people say um, that we are in 53 out of 54 countries in Africa, and why people are wondering why that is. Well, the reason that is because ISIS is being run out of the Middle East, and now they're headed to Africa. And recently we had the four men that were killed in Niger, and people were wondering, and even I think McCain. Well, I know what's his name, Lindsey Graham was saying, well, I didn't know we had people over there. Well, probably you don't know that there's people over there because they're doing some covert actions. So that they can start gearing up for the fact that ISIS is going over there and they're going to try to fight ISIS over there. I know, Monique, YouTube's been crashing a lot lately, it seems. Somalia's a hot spot. Yeah, so we've been there for a while. For Lindsey Graham not to say he didn't know we were there, I mean, it's kind of weird. I think the general public knew. Again, I'm not sure what these people do all day long. So, um, why did they not know? Where's the military oversight? I find this worrying. Well, yeah, I do too, Glow. I think the general public kind of knew. They take bribes all day long. Well, that's true, Marianne. At least that's a lot of allegations think that's true. So now, the other day, I want to kind of go to another subject. The other day, I heard Mike Cernovich say that he had a list of men in the media that were going to be found out for sexual harassment, sexual assault, and things like that. Did anybody else hear that? Chessie and Wanda, hopefully after that on Facebook Live, hopefully you'll have a share button. Oh, Barbara blocked. Okay, so basically, yeah, he supposedly has a list. He showed the list. He didn't show the names on the list. He talked about him being in prominent places in media, and that he was going to be calling those people. It could be he was going to be calling those people and saying, "Hey, I've got this information. Kind of like, what are you going to do about it?" And Mark Halperin, MSNBC's Mark Halperin, who is the NBC senior political analyst and frequent guest on MSNBC Morning Joe as a panelist, he's been accused by 5 women of sexual harassment. He didn't deny it, and he's saying that he's taking some time off, and these are for allegations that happened back in the early 2000s. And he basically had some statement that saying, at the time, I inappropriately tried to date people or whatever that were, worked for me and I shouldn't have, or, whatever. So, he's not going to deny it. So 5 people come against you. Good morning, Ron. I'm calling it the American Democrat nightmare is about to come alive. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. It's far past time. They always have an excuse, go to rehab for a week. Exactly. And nobody's saying that he's going to be fired or anything else. It's kind of like, well, I'm going to take some time off and think about what I've done and, probably come back and hope that people will forget about what happened and why he was off. So we'll, I as more of this comes out, it's yeah, go write a book too. There you go. Maybe he and Comey could get together and write that book. But it's funny, and I don't mean funny, haha, but funny, odd. It seems like right now, if you look at things, God is exposing a number of industries for their wrongdoing. I mean, you talk about the Hollywood, politicians, on and on and on. It's coming up, and it's all happening at once. I mean, it is like watching dominoes fall. Fire them all. Don't let them stink away. This is not slink away. This is not political. Both sides. Yep. God on the Trump train. Any men coming forward about women sexually harassing? Not so far that I've heard of, but I'm sure there probably are a lot of men who were sexually harassed because they talk about being sexually harassed by women. Who's that, Barbara? Because I haven't seen even one person. Hollywood is based on selling sex. Well, it certainly has been. There is scripture for that also. It will be shown from the shown from the rooftops. Lee said. Oh no, was correcting your typing. Okay, yeah, because I was going to say I haven't seen any men yet that have said that they've been sexually harassed. Maybe they're maybe it's a societal thing. They're afraid to come out. Or I saw one on Bombard's body language. God's using the least of these to expose the world's wrongs. Trump's can be used. He can use for all good. Where does it all end? It ends at the rapture, Ron. Sexual abusers exist in all walks of life, not just politics. Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's all coming out. Silicon Valley, Hollywood, the media. And it's going to be exposing a lot of people. Politics. I mean, well, that's four industries right there. Yeah, we knew about Hollywood a long time ago. That's not surprising at all. So I mean, but I'm just saying that God is exposing all this like all at once, and it's amazing. It is like watching dominoes fall and a house of cards just going in. I know it's about time. Common in the workplace. Yeah, and we've had people in here talk about it. Look at the movies and shows they produce. Immoral Hollywood, yes. That's true. The truth is about to be fully unveiled by God's hands and revealed, shown, and shouted to the world from the mountaintops, Monique said. And people actually listen to Hollywood, yes, because that's what they're told. They're told to do. And that's who people have used a lot as idols. I mean, it's idolatry. People look up to those in Hollywood to think that they're the ones that are going to be able to tell you what you should and shouldn't do and to be the models for your behavior. And that's another reason not to. Now, I saw something the other day, and again, I know comedians get away with a lot of things, but in this day and age, when we're talking about all the women with their sexual harassment allegations and sexual assault, you wouldn't think that this is a time to be laughing and doing jokes about this. But I saw Ellen DeGeneres with her partner, and I can't remember, Portia, who were standing there talking to Katy Perry. Katy Perry had on a low-cut dress or blouse with a necklace on, and Ellen was kind of close to her chest, close to Katy Perry's chest, and was going like, gaga, like, oh my gosh, looking at it. And now I'm sure Ellen could say, oh no, as a comedian, I'm just looking at her necklace. It wasn't that I was looking at her chest, but everybody knew what it was. And basically only Ellen could get away in this time, in this climate, of doing something like that. And I guess, my question is, should she be doing that at this time? I could tell you things about Katie and Madonna. Danielle said, I know. I can only imagine. Yeah, little cleavage. Looked at me. She was going to cop a feel. Marlene said, she is the pits. What's wrong with her? It's okay. Ellen works for MGM. There you go. There you go, Marianne. Hugh said, if it was sexually harassed by a woman, I wouldn't call it harassment. I'd call it flirting. But if I did it to a woman, lock me up, Hugh said. There's no harassing the willing, Hugh said. Yeah, I mean, you don't blame her, and I get that, but I think, again, if nothing else, it's insensitive in a time when people are actually going through and coming out and saying people have sexually harassed them. So that's what I don't like about it. Rosie is back being a dingbat as usual. Ellen is a joke and very sick person, Ron said. And, you know, it's just like when I found and I told you guys about that Jimmy Kimmel stunt. You know, that he was, you know, obviously he was a comedian having this thing where he put a cucumber down his pants. We're having women on the street feel the cucumber, right? Hey, Lisa. To me, that was inappropriate, even though that it was comedy, and I get it. But it's just, if you want to talk about sexual harassment, if you want to talk about inappropriateness, I kind of think you have to look at everything. Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of, you know. And again, that was a little while back. It wasn't funny. And hers is right now. Let's hear it for Steven Crowder. I know. Yeah, that was really sick. Those women were willing. I guess you could look at it that way and say that they were willing, but were they willing because, again, they were going to be on TV, they were going to be, you know, it's the same thing the actresses, you could say with them, well, the casting couch, they're willing, you know, because they want a job, so they're willing to do it. Hey, Danielle, good to see you. So, you know, if somebody's in power and you're doing stuff like that, hey, Julia, but they crucified Trump for his comments. I know. Trump didn't even do anything, and yet they crucify him. These people actually did things that they're being accused of, and nobody's really saying anything. They're just like, oh, you know, I'm so sorry I did it. Yeah, it was kind of inappropriate. Sorry I did that. It's ridiculous. We're in a sensitive time. Hollywood can't keep doing this stuff. Yeah. And so, you know, where do you draw the line? If you guys could, we're at the halfway point. If you would please go ahead and retweet this. We have to defend even the ignorance of women. Well, Alexis, I mean, you know, but it's a double standard, I guess, is what it is. And again, if you're going to tell people not to do it for one, you have to kind of do it for everybody, I guess. We have to draw the line at the law. Yeah. Now, if we could get abortion stopped. I know, Marlene. Follow the law. Exactly, Alexis. Just follow the law. And you know, again, for me, what Jimmy Kimmel did, I thought it was in poor taste. I don't label that as sexual harassment. Some people would. But because some people would say, well, again, you know, they're doing it because they're on TV. He did say he grabbed women. No, he said... and they let you not happy about that. He didn't say he said grab them by that. He didn't say he did grab them. He said grab them. Now rise up into the law. So did the Bushes think long ago that Trump might run? I don't know, because a lot of people said they knew for a long time that President Trump might run. Hollywood is pure filth. I don't care what any of them have to say. The only ones I respect are the ones that keep their mouths shut and don't expose their families to the world, Robin said. Kimmel's a pig. He dated that comedian Silverman. Well, at least he has poor taste. We know. Well, okay, then you can go somewhere else and maybe you find some place that you do care about. So he said they will let you know. Okay. All right, so let's talk a little bit. Hey, Chris, good to see you. Let's talk a little bit, thank you, Chessie, about some of the more information that we're getting out of Vegas. But, you know, I don't know that he did grab them. So there you go. I don't, nothing's been proven, so I don't know. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Leonard, good to see you. So, okay, here's the thing. We know it came out yesterday, I think it was on Tucker Carlson, that said that the hard drive was missing from the shooter's computer, right? We knew that. We heard about that yesterday. Uh, here's the strange thing, and they're saying they don't know exactly when they found out that the hard drive was missing. They don't know if they found it out right away, if it's something right now they found out. They don't know. But here's my question. This is what nobody is talking about except maybe one person. Marlene, Mary Ann says her opinion is the guard is involved in somehow. Shooter was shot twice. That's weird too. Donnell says bull. Yeah, well, they don't know a lot of stuff. The thing that they are not talking about is he also had software in the room that could be used to erase everything off his computer. So if you are bringing software to eventually erase everything off the computer, you need a hard drive for that. The computer was in the room, but the hard drive was gone. So you got stuff there to erase everything, but you don't have a hard drive. You don't need the software if you don't have a hard drive. And yet nobody's talking about that in the news. It's like, oh, well, the hard drive's gone. Yeah, Campos went to Mexico. I think Campos was part of it, Chessie said. FBI or CIA got it, I think. And if true, why commit suicide? Yeah, I mean, the guard drove a rental car, yes. And that's the thing too. Tucker Carlson said that they found out he's not registered as a security guard. The hotel's Wi-Fi is public. Yeah, normally, yes. So I mean, he took a rental car down to Mexico. We don't know how long he stayed in Mexico. We do know he came back through San Ysidro, which is down in the San Diego Mexican border. Then he would have had to have driven all the way back to Las Vegas, which is about a 5-hour drive. And supposedly, if you're hit by a high-powered machine gun or automatic, fully automatic machine gun, whatever, why isn't your leg blown to smithereens? See, that's the one thing I don't understand, and I've never understood. Either he wasn't shot by that the fully automatic rifle that he had, but he was shot by a handgun or something. I mean, I don't know. A twin. I don't think so, but I don't know. And again, I just want to know. Maybe the MGM, maybe they're protecting him because they don't want lawsuits flying. Yeah, he didn't limp, nothing. Makes our border look extremely porous as well. Yes, Chris. And there's something else going down at the border too. And I saw that this morning. There is down at the border of Mexico, this guy who they say is a cartel member is standing with a camera. He's filming himself. He's standing there with a gun. You can actually see the gun. This 18-wheeler drives by, and the cartel guy starts shooting at the 18-wheeler. And they're saying that this is something that typically happens because they're meant to do that to hijack those trucks down at the border. I mean, that's crazy. And let me just say, that was filmed in broad daylight. Where's the video? You can go to Dennis Michael Lynch, Jerry. You'll see it there. But Donnell, they weren't in Mexico. They were in Texas. They were between, at the border, and that's where they were. But the 18-wheeler was in the United States, and they say that this happens quite a bit, and nobody's talking about it. Better late than never, I suppose. Spencer showed up finally. Women need to think smarter today. There's so much technology, cell phone videos, cameras, voice recordings, apps that can work in their own defense if ever caught up in a bad situation, Monique said. Absolutely, Monique. Yeah, I mean, so The whole story is a cover up for something darker that happened that night. Shooting were on purpose, Susie said. But, again, this was in broad daylight. So what happened, Glow, is that it's supposed to be, they're saying that it's a cartel member is standing there holding a handgun. He's filming himself. So he's got the camera back here and he's filming himself. You can see the gun, and he opens fire on an 18-wheeler that is just going by. I mean, straight on the truck. And he runs and gets in the car to go after them. I don't know he was going to do anything because the truck just kept going. And they're saying that they do that to hijack the trucks. And it was shot during broad daylight. Nothing beats a firearm course and caring for everyone, Spencer said. Yes. Yeah, it was really awful. Yep. What was in the truck? I don't know, Jerry. I don't know what they were carrying. Something that the cartel wanted. We know this is in Texas. We know that in Texas. Yeah, it could be drugs. Who knows? I have no idea what was on board the truck. If the cartel knew there were drugs or something on the truck, I have no idea. But, I mean, it was amazing to sit there and watch that thing. I'm like, my gosh. Oh, that's okay. Did they have a city permit? I have no idea. Where and when did this take place? It was at the Texas-Mexico border, Monique, and it was supposedly recent. You can go to DennisMichaelLynch.com and see that video there. Now, there's something else that is kind of strange that I wanted to bring out. I found this on kind of an obscure website. The website is called Live and Let's Fly. It's all about flying. Now, for you people who live in Las Vegas, Marianne, let me know, have you ever heard about this? There is supposedly an airline that's in Las Vegas, and they call it Janet, Janet. It's their white 737s. It said 737-600s with a red cheat line down the center of the plane. They say supposedly that's a top secret U.S. Air Force contractor that shuttles the Air Force and workers back and forth to sensitive government installations. And it stands for Joint Air Network for Employee Transportation. Area 51, that's right. Joint Air Network for Employee Transportation. They say they have 6 in the fleet, and they're former Air China commercial aircraft. In order to be on it, you have to have a top secret clearance, and 2010 was the last time that they hired anybody. Okay, so Marianne is saying that she's seen that. That's crazy. Hey, Nancy. So, check that out. Again, that website was Live and Let's Fly, and the name of the plane is Janet. Been around for many years, Patrick said. Area 51 transport. And a lot of people are saying that it's not true, that it's just, conspiracy theory. But I don't know why we're just now talking about it, why it's just now coming up. And again, they're still trying to deny that it even exists. Utah testing ground for cloaked planes. I don't know, Barbara. A lot of stuff is happening lately is all I have to say. A lot of stuff that we were always told didn't exist, wasn't true, is now coming out and being proven. It lands at McCarran, yep, to shuttle workers back and forth. And that's what they said, Marianne, that you can go out there and see them anytime, that there's 6 of them. New Mexico desert is and was, yeah. Yeah, if you didn't hear my my guest the other night, David Hardy, talk about what the government does, you should really go listen to that show. I'm telling you. Because you'll see what the government's involved in, what they're not telling you, the things that have come out now that you really need to know. And that was David Hardy. If you want to go and see it, it's at SusanKnowles.com. Scroll down, you'll see Stand for Truth Radio. Oh, good. You're getting his book. Good, Danielle. Yeah, I mean, that was a really good show. A lot of eye-opening stuff coming out of that. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Where was the truck coming from? Are they Mexican drivers or American drivers that deliver to Mexico? Wanda, I think they're American drivers, what I understood. It was a great show and good interview. Thank you, Barbara. Another show that's been really popular this week, and every week actually, is God's Views on Political News. Right now, without even really promoting that show, it's at 2.1 thousand views. If aliens did exist, Trump would have told us. He would be unable to resist. Budget passed in the House. Yeah, I talked about that a while ago, Jerry. I didn't know if maybe you didn't hear me, but so was the one, yeah, God's Views on Political News. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, it's like I said, it's at 2.1 thousand, and we really haven't even promoted it. I put it on Twitter maybe a couple of times, but that's about it. And again, you can find that at SusanKnowles.com. Thank you, Carmen. Does anybody follow Smith Radio? He's hilarious. There are aliens, yep, and they're illegal. That's right, Alexis. Okay, let's get to some other information. Now, I don't know if you know about this, but President Trump signed a memorandum yesterday which allows states, municipalities, and tribal groups to start testing drones. So they're saying that they want to do that to use these drones for disaster response, mapping, agriculture, and delivery of goods. So they think that this is going to maybe open up Amazon. You know, remember Amazon wanted to make deliveries before. And they think that's going to open up kind of a new thing for them to do now in the United States. They've been testing it in the UK, and apparently it's been going really well. So they want to bring it to the United States if this memorandum allows them to eventually do that. No, that we talked about that yesterday, Jerry. This isn't anything about the key. This is an actual drone bringing a package to your house. The key was Amazon Key. We talked about that yesterday, how you can open up the front door and they have a key. Yeah, this is a drone. Yeah, the JFK stuff is out. Some people are saying it's not gonna be anything big. So, hopefully, President Trump wanted this, but the drones, because he's saying, our delivery system and stuff like that and the things we do are kind of outdated. And so he wants this to be used. I'm hoping that nobody uses it inappropriately. Yeah, Carmen, about 3,000 files in JFK are coming out today. We figured all that JFK stuff out years ago. Yep. What does it say? Well, Carmen, we don't know yet. Who in the right mind would allow a stranger access to their house, Robin said. And when will we be able to register our property as a no-fly zone for drones? Probably never, Spencer. Hey, Shannon, good to see you. Yeah, and I also wanted to do a little follow-up. The other day, you maybe have heard about this by now, the 3-year-old girl. Remember the little 3-year-old girl that was put outside by her father, supposedly, and then she disappeared, and they found her body? He's now, I'll just say, allegedly, he is admitting to it, saying that she choked on her milk and died, and he disposed of her body. So I just wanted to follow up and let you know that that's what came out of that. And also there's some other news about children. A nonprofit organization called the Clean Label Project, they did a 5-month study. Oh, she was adopted. Choked on the liquid. Yeah, supposedly, Rhonda. Truly fantastic and insightful show, Susan. Thank you, Monique. Love both yours and Bill's perspectives. I listen anytime I'm available when I'm catching up with the shows I missed during the week. And Monique's talking about God's views on political news. She's from India and had special needs. Oh, God. Just watched the video of the shooting of the semi-truck. Why not just steal semi-trucks from truck stops? Well, that's a good question. Yeah. I have no idea why they were doing that. It was the oddest thing I've ever seen. Um, so the 5 month study on baby food, they tested over 500 products, and they found that 65% of the baby food contained detectable levels of arsenic, and more than one third tested positive for lead. This is serious. Serious. This is why people need to know this type of stuff, so they can decide to make their own baby food and not give out, buy stuff at the store. Because that, if that's accurate, then that's serious. Yes. Wanda said, hoping all who read the JFK reports first read the JFK Chronicles. Yes, the girl that, the illegal immigrant who was in Texas jail, she was allowed to get an abortion. She did get the abortion. Yeah, I know, Nancy. It's a good thing that you never got the baby food at the store. My 2-year-old grandson has never eaten baby food. He did baby led weaning. Good. God only knows what's in that formula. I mean, can you imagine parents that find out that they have been feeding their babies arsenic and lead unknowingly? I mean, that's horrible. Wow, that's insane. Make your own baby food for sure, Robin said. Wow, that's horrible. When did baby food report come out? I just saw it, Monique. It's from the Clean Label Project, the nonprofit organization. I know. I mean, good Lord. I mean, you get arsenic and lead, right, in the baby food. Hey, Pamela, good to see you. I didn't see you come in. And then you go on to getting the vaccines with all the stuff that the vaccines have on. So they kept quiet about it. Where's that article? You can go to DennisMichaelLynch.com, but you can look up the organization called Clean Label Project. It's a nonprofit organization. Just unbelievable. That's the worst story. I know you have to question everything. You know, I mean, for years, people, they talk about chemtrails and this and that. And you know, when all of this stuff is coming out, you have to sit and wonder how much is true, how much isn't. Good morning, big hugs. Arsenic and lead. Oh, and again, in the vaccines. And I don't know if any of you get the flu shot, but you should really look and see what they're putting in the flu shots. I think you would be surprised, to say the least. Europe has far higher standards for labeling contaminants than do we here in the United States, Spencer said. Yes, Clean Label Project. We have to say grace over our meals. Yes, Alexis. Make your own food as much as possible. No flu shots. Teresa, I agree. Are there really aliens? I have no idea, Darlene. That's unbelievable. Arsenic and lead, yeah. Wonder when they'll check prenatal vitamins given to moms. I don't know. Mercury heavy levels. There's not only mercury, though, in the vaccines for flu shots, but there's other stuff in there, too. And read up on it. I don't want to go into vaccines. I'm not a vaccine expert. They want me to get a flu shot because of my health issues, but no way, I'm not doing it. Good for you, Robin. I would certainly try to find other things. Prenatal's the worst. Europe has much higher food and labeling standards than the U.S. That is true, Glow said. I know. I mean, some of the things that we're reading every day, cosmetics in Europe are far ahead of us in research. Wow. This is the first year I've gotten sick from flu shot. Oh, no, Carmen, you didn't get one. Fetal tissue was used to make vaccines. There you go, Jules. Build your immune system. Had a discussion. Oh, that went by really fast. A lot of health doctors have died mysteriously from exposing the vaccine. Yes, they have. And you can go to Natural News. They have a lot of information on that, and you can look at the doctors that have mysteriously died. This year's flu shot has all the strains. Unbelievable. Never had a flu shot, never will. I know what you mean, Catherine. See the film Vexed, Vaxxed, Jules says. Yep. If you're immune compromised, flu shot is recommended. That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in it. I mean, I think that you don't always have to go with Western medicine. You can look at other medicines and see what they recommend. Can't afford the flu. Yep, Chezzy. Chessie, I mean, look, talk to your doctor, talk to other people. Like I said, you don't always have to use Western medicine, but die from immune disease or die from flu shot, or try to find an alternative. Double up on vitamin D, Darlene is saying. My daughter and I use oils, Danielle said. Yeah, I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you what to do or recommend anything. All I can say is, check alternatives, talk to other people, talk to your doctor, find out if there are alternatives. I remember when I used to have a lot of colds. I would seem to get them, and they would start in the sinuses, and thank you, Lee, and they would go down into my chest. And once it gets in your chest, it's just too late, right? And so I'd end up getting antibiotics. Well, you can only take so many antibiotics, right? So when I went to my doctor, because I was sick, he's like, well, we'll just give you antibiotics. And I said, look, I don't want antibiotics. Don't give me that stuff. I don't want medication. What can I do? And he said to me, okay, we'll give you an alternative. And he told me what to do, and, knock wood and everything else. Thank God, praise God. I've never had anything antibiotic since then. So oranges are good for you. Yeah, I mean, coconut oil, a lot of stuff's good for you. Teaspoon of elderberry extract during flu season. About to get on medication that will even further kill my immune system. Oh, Chezzy. Sorry to hear that. And I know sometimes you have to absolutely, I guess, do it. And again, maybe Eastern medicine is something to check into. Maybe something to supplement what you do. I don't know. Talk to your doctor. Again, I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you. My kids haven't had the flu shot in 6 years and won't get it, Robin said. Artificially flashing your immune system into action when none is needed weakens it, Spitzer said. I'm anti-prednisone believer, Nancy said. Good morning, how are you? Is it Sherry? So hard to see. God. Yeah, neuropath. You go to a neuropath. I mean, yeah, again, doctors, when you come to a doctor's office, most doctors will give you pills or medicate, a shot or whatever, because most people who go to a doctor's office expect to receive a pill or a shot. And so they give you what your expectations are. Yeah, a lot of things that you can do not to get sick. Don't put your hands in your nose, your eyes, or your ears. Keep your hands away from those areas. I use salt water if I need to. Salt water cleanses the sinuses, and it gets everything out before it goes down into your chest, and that's when you have to get the antibiotics. So, don't touch your face, Barbara said. Yep. Prednisone makes me furious allergic reaction. Wow. A lot of people gain a serious weight gain from prednisone. Saline every day, Alexa said. And insurance covers, oh, yours does? Okay, neuropathic doctors, another, huh. Yeah, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. American is totally overprescribed. That's why we are in this opioid mess. And President Trump just declared opioids, or he's going to declare them as a national emergency or national crisis, a public health emergency. So he's going to be doing that really soon if he hasn't already done it. You're really cranky, Pam. Why are you really cranky? Maybe you need something, an anti-cranky medication, right? Osteopathic doctors are the best. Eastern medicine is best for health maintenance. I sanitize my light switches, doorknobs regularly. Yes, Teresa, good thing. It's a great thing to do. Get spray with I can't say that, acid at a drugstore. Never heard of all that. I mean, there's so much to do and so much to look into. Thank you guys for being here today. If you would, please retweet this, share it with everyone, and especially with all the stuff that we've been talking about today. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Everybody on YouTube, thank you so much for coming by, and we'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Take care.